Today you will discover how to feel loved, empowered, and confident to change your life and build your tailor-made life. How to drop your fears or to go through it, to continue your path and reach your goal. You will discover how to change your path if this one today that you have is not enough inspiring for you or supportive. Thanks to the testimonial of Robert Schram. He's an intuitive transition engineer with a passion to lower the illusionary boundaries in our mind so we can unite towards a fairer, more loving and compassionate world for all. He's a coordinator of transition platforms and an activist. Robert is a co-founder of United Earth, a host of Future Now Radio, a director of Mother Earth Trust, an author, a musician and composer, and a documentary film producer. You will find the links to follow him below. Welcome to A Tailor-made Life, the podcast for creating our dreams. I am Laetitia Dunoma. I'm composer, musician, performer, and singer, and I am also art therapist and a holistic vocal coach. Thank you to subscribe to this channel and to put a like. It helps to support this creation. I am really happy to welcome you, Robert. Really, really happy. So, hello, welcome home.
Thank you. Hello, Leticia. Great to be here with you.
So, you know about this topic, about this story to create a dream life. I really want to know for you what it means.
It's a good question to start with. For me, it means a life that is in balance and also that is strongly connected to my purpose or life calling. So that's basically what a dream life means to me. So it's not, for me, it's not about money or anything. It's more about values that I think are important. And that's connected to compassion, but mainly also to experience life to the full. I love life in all aspects. So the good parts and the challenges, the darker parts. And I really enjoy all these experiences. Try to explore continuously to learn new stuff. And also the unknown. I think a dream life that things are still waiting that you do not know what can happen to you. I think that's also exciting. So I love also this unknown factor.
So what it is for you, for example, your value. I can imagine that what you will desire to achieve or to experience will be connected to this. If not, what happened for you?
Then I have to share again about my childhood. Is that okay?
Yeah, of
Because
course.
because of course it's your childhood is very important for to form these principles, these basic, to help shape them, your values. And I always have seen as an example that my mother and father, they were in love with each other and they had a great relationship. They loved children very much, so they took a lot of them. So I grew up in a big family, and I was very lucky that they expressed their love towards me. So my father is more introvert but intuitive. He was a person that really could sort of take your hand or give you a hug, or he was expressing himself more physically. Of course, my mother also, but my mother also tried to support children in if there are disappointments or to do something new. She tried to sort of guide us. So that's what I learned as a child, that living in a small community with so many brothers and sisters, that is a value that you take care of each other and you love each other. And I still carry this within me, this feeling about wanting to share this love, and that's for me the core value of my calling. I think I feel compassionate towards other people and animals and nature and the whole planet. And you can even enlarge that to the universe. But I do feel that's a big part of my calling, to also a little bit create the same basic, very nurturing feelings for other people, because I feel everybody deserves that. Maybe we can discuss it if you think it's a necessity, because you can have a terrible childhood, I can imagine, and come out of it much more powerful and stronger as a person later on in your life. But that's maybe another topic. So I think those basically formed my values. And of course, when you're young, you're also very principled. You're more black and white. But through the years, things got more gray for me. It's hard to really say what's wrong or what is right at some point, because you just don't know all the things behind it. You just don't know what happened to someone else, what triggers them. You don't know. So it's easy to judge. I try to be a little bit more specific on that part, to listen more and listen into what the other person actually has experienced, so I can hopefully understand a little bit better where this other person is. And of course, I have seen from my parents that there are values that are important, like being faithful in marriage and stuff. I must say, later on, I've sort of find an opening in my heart, and I took the step to explore, to open up to other people more, and that was also beautiful to experience all that.
So what I hear, it's really all about the principle of love. Could you tell to everybody, to the audience, to me, what is exactly for you love? You know, what it is exactly. It's a so large topic, I will say. And where do you find it in your experience? You know, what are you looking for in your experience? And I can imagine that it lead you in your desires and your dreams, I will say. I don't know if you have dreams, but dreams or goals, or I don't know, something like that. But yeah, what it means for you love, and where do you find it, how you connect with this?
Yeah, I think for me there's a strong connection to affection, and that also, and now we're going a little bit into a Freud region. Probably it also connects very tightly to a sexual relationship experiences. People often, they are, and I'm happy, I'm very open to share this with you. Often they are speaking about being enlightened or feeling this connection with the universe. And for me, honestly, there's only one place where I can totally be there. And this is where I get lost in a very, how do you call it? A deeply passionate sexual connection with someone. That's where I sort of feel totally, well, like you're floating. You're not on Earth, but you feel the connections with the universe. I cannot really explain it, but that's really a wonderful place to be. But of course, you cannot be there all the time. That would be impossible. But I do feel that there is a strong connection for me, to find this connection with someone and to experience it, and I enjoy that very much. So it's a sort of feeling of bliss. I know it sounds very happy peppy. I'm sorry, but that's really, I don't know what it is. Yeah, maybe it's something between life and death experience, or where you feel that you're free from everything, but still connected to it. I sometimes call it, it's a bit of a, yeah, there's some duality in here, or some schizophrenic situation, like you experience grief and happiness at the same time. It feels very double, but it is very intense.
If I understand well, you will tell me the love that you mentioned. It's the connection, I will say, with the whole. If yeah, what I felt. So with all the polarity, with this all, I have the feeling that your desires is leading to reach this fulfillness connected to everything. And of course, in this feeling there is so much power in, I will say, the destruction and construction. Everything is combined, and you can feel really oneness in this situation. So if I understand well, your purpose, or maybe your movement within, or your soul, is moving by this research to be connected to this source that you can find in the sexuality. And I follow you. Yes, it's really a path to connect to this oneness. That's right. That it's your purpose. I will say it's how you lead your dream life.
Yes. And also by no, that's correct. So you described it very clearly. I always have an idea. Okay, this is my dream, or this is what I want to manifest. This is what I want to do on a practical level, because I am very practical. But at the same time, I can get totally lost in a passionate relationship that goes so deep that it's really that you think, wow, yeah, I really love those different aspects at the same time.
I heard practical.
Mm.
I can maybe mix this with the grounded, and with the patient, you can go in this connection, big connection with the whole, who can be really scary also in some time, because we in this connection, you can touch everything. If we touch the polarity, we can say, okay, it will have bad and good things at the same time. So, like you said, the grief and I will say the oneness. But how you lead this, because it's question of balance. So I have the feeling that to be always in this enlightenment, for you, it's unbalanced.
Yeah, yeah. It's not my desire to be always in this enlightened position. I do love to experience at times, and I'm always open for it, I think, in a way. But when it happens, it happens. So I'm not really, searching for it or looking for it or desperately. No, I'm more focusing on all these practical things, because I do want to create and help co-create and manifest things together. And in the process, it's wonderful when you meet someone. There are many, many special people which I connected with and still am every day. But when it happens, it's so strong and intense that it's hard to say no to that, right? I mean, that would be insane also. So I do not try to block it in any way. I just will receive it with open arms when it happens, because I experience it as a big gift, as a special, very special momentum that you are experiencing with someone. You're becoming one with the person, but also one with the universe. But you're correct. Yeah, there's no time table on that, how it works. But for me, that's sort of the balance. It's not equal parts, but there is sort of a balance there. Yeah.
Mm. And I can imagine that this love, that this connection, I can imagine that it also there in all your practical realization. I can imagine.
Yeah, I'm very intuitive. So there's always this, it goes through the head and then through the heart. It always goes through this process, right? I think it's the infinity loop that I'm describing. Yeah, I feel that's how it works for me. I rarely take a decision only by the head or by the heart. It has to go through all aspects of it. And of course, in the past, I did. I took some head decisions, and I, had to learn from it, or the other way around.
Yeah, and it's really questioning for me, because I really go from the dream since my youth. I have some dreams, and I dream a lot also during the night. I go in a lot of world, I will say, during when I am sleeping. I built everything from the dream, and I love to do it. It's really because it's a playful way for me. It's joyful. It's really energetic and powerful for me. So I do it because it brings me a lot of pleasure and excitement. I am really interesting from your way, because it's really different. So I want really to understand how it works, because I have the feeling that you don't have like a vision, like a purpose, like, oh yeah, I would love to go in this top of this mountain, or something. Oh, I would love to. And so what I will create as a plan to do it, to achieve it, blah blah blah. Can you explain to me and to everybody a journey, if you can explain, I don't know, something like I
Yeah,
did this and that, and it
yeah.
happened this, and it bring me to that point, and blah blah. I would love to understand, how you are working in this.
Yeah, so it started basically during my working life. Letitia always said, when I'm 40, I will stop working, for a paycheck, for profit. But of course, in practice, that you have to really get some things done. I was close, but it took me till I was 50. And then I said, well, that's the limit for me. If I do not take this decision now, when I'm 50, I will probably will never do it. So that was the momentum that I decided to drop all my fears. I just flushed them through the toilet. We all our life we try to sort of create these circumstances that we feel safe and stuff, and we plan things like pension. I threw it all overboard because I don't want to judge about it, but I do feel we create a lot of these concept securities that aren't really give you any security. It just makes you feel comfortable because they are there, but it doesn't say anything about what can happen to you or life. So I think that's what was a big step for me. And when I dropped those fears, then things really started happening. And I must be honest, you experience a lot of resistance when you do this, because people in your surroundings will always say, "What the hell are you doing, man? Blah blah blah. Great job, great car, great wife. Why are you doing this?" And some people said, "Robert, you changed. You changed, man. You were so good at this, and now you're doing this other alternative stuff." And I always try to explain them, well, the first point, you probably never knew me good enough because I haven't changed at all. I just decided to follow my path, who I truly am. And of course, that was for some people hard to accept, and some people, they were okay with it. So dropping those fears, and that's when the energy sort of started flowing, and I really felt released and relieved from a lot of stuff. And and then from that part on, Letitia, it happened. I see it in phases, in sort of cycles, 2-year cycles. And every time I go through such a cycle with another group or another project where we're all co-creating on creating all kinds of stuff, alternative concepts or tools or apps that has to do with an alternative way of living, or more inclusive way of living, let me put it that way. So I run through 2-year cycles. I went through one when I started with United Earth as a founder of the group. I went through a cycle with the World Summit and Hack Humanity. Hopefully, I try to grow in the process, to also be able to learn from each other, but also grow on a personal level. That's basically how I go through these phases. And so I already knew in the first phase there will come maybe 2, 3, 4 other cycles. So it's okay where you are now. So I wasn't worrying too much. In the first cycle, there was lots of drama and shadow and stuff that I had to learn. But I wasn't worried about it too much, because I already had a sort of understanding or some pre-feelings, like there will come another cycle, and after that another, and after this one another.
Oh, yeah, great. There is a lot. So I have a lot of, I think, a question, but I will question first from this point. Really interesting about you had like a comfortable life before, and you decided to be totally yourself. Do you remember what you did at this moment? What was the difficulty about this fear? If it was simple to really drop them, or if you had to do, I don't know, practice or ritual or something to help you in this way. If you have some tools that you use, it can be great to share with us this.
Thanks for asking. Well, what I recall is this feeling was so strong that it happened almost overnight, and it's similar to like in my younger days I smoked, somewhere between 18 and at 24 or 25 I decided to quit. So I just took the package, I threw it down the toilet, and that's how I stopped. So there wasn't any long, deeper process or some struggling with it. I felt that was the right decision at that moment, and I was totally 1,000% behind it. So I'm not sure if that's helpful as a tool for others, but so maybe I waited this long that I was totally ready to take the decision. And maybe if you want to compare it with other things you have to decide on in life, maybe some people, they're not there yet. So they take the decision, but they have to then struggle through till they reach that point.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Thank you to tell this, because I think it's really important in the process. That in the process, something can happen when the desire is bigger than the fear. But before that, it's not possible to transform or to change or etc. So the desire has to grow, to grow, to grow, to grow, to grow until the moment that the fear starts to become smaller. Not smaller, but the desire is bigger. I can imagine if you, if you, from this moment that you were really ready, I can imagine so that you stopped your work, that you maybe had money aside, but maybe not. I have the feeling that because of your, thanks, not because, thanks to your childhood, really supportive, present, and constructive, I will say, you had and you have still now and more a big confidence within you. It's also, I think it also helps to not struggle during a long time with the fears, because you have a big safety feeling of safety within.
Well, I think the practical part of me, of course, when I decided to live my life really to my purpose, of course, I had some savings, to back it up. For maybe 2 years, I could really live independently. I think I read 10 books in my life, but I started to write out of the blue. I wrote a few books, so everything was, and that was really unexpected. But I started to study philosophy, Freud, Nietzsche. I read the Bible. I was very hungry for, information. And then also started to study alternative models, like alternative self governance and economic models. Because I strongly felt, and that's what I have not shared up till now, in my career, I clearly saw, especially the last 10 years, things were not sustainable. Because before my 50th year, Letitia, I had a bore out. And that's not to confuse with a burnout. A bore out is when you lose interest in your work because it didn't give me intrinsic motivation or anything. It was just getting boring. But I have seen people really they were damaged by how tough they had to go through their jobs and their personal lives. And I thought that was unhealthy at some point. And of course, I questioned, like, okay, you can have a lot of opinions about how things can be better. And that's not that hard to do. When you're on the sideline, you can have an opinion about everything. But really, actually changing something, that's something else. And so I decided, well, that's what I want to do. I want to be a part of it. And that was also, of course, a big motivator for me. Like, okay, if we can do it better, I know we can do a lot of things better with united with humanity and with all of society together. Then why don't we do it? So I started studying the blockages, and I'm particularly interested in dogma and stuff like that. Why do we keep falling back into these dogmatic situations? And that has to do with our level of consciousness or the barriers between them. What's keeping us stuck, to evolve to a next phase? And I'm particularly interested in the deeper psychological processes. Yeah, it's a tough word.
Yeah, and what is the fact that you were in this bore out?
Bore
It's a bit
out.
bore
Yeah.
out. In this bore out, from that point when a system doesn't work, I will say, when you are in a system, and a system, it can be your own system within, it doesn't work, you feel unhappy, even if it's comfortable, but like you said, you lose the taste of the life. So from that point you could think, okay, I have to change something and to understand how to be yourself and happy. Because for me, what I hear really something similar, like to build a dream life. Now I start to feel the bridge, and there is no bridge. I start to feel that the same field, actually, to desire to live something and to create a dream life. it's connected to the moment, uncomfortable, and that I want to change it. So I start to feel what I want to change and why. And I go to the point, what is my value and what I want to live now, what I am living now, what I am processing, and what is my behavior, what I am doing with the people. So what is my next dream, where I will feel really in my full power, and I can go to the value, to who I am and what I want to live with the people around, the nature, and with myself.
Mm.
So now I can see that actually we are in the same way, I will say, to live this dream life in the daily life. And that the purpose that you are following about this circle, like you said, I have the feeling that in each circle you learn about yourself and you develop your own being. So you develop your own being. So of course it brings you with another circle, or maybe you can stay in the same circle if the circle continue to evaluate with you, with your own vibration. If it's not the case, of course you will move and go to another circle who are more connected to your own vibration.
Yeah, that's totally correct. So you're a great analyzer. Yeah, yeah. No, but that's really true, and I think that's really, well, it's not for me to judge, but it feels healthy to me in a way. And every time when I go into a new phase, like now, I'm going to Italy to work with a team on another project, Synergy Hub Network. That's been there for 5 or 6 years already, but now the time has come that 4 or 5 people are saying, "Hey, we are now ready to get together and to work on it." So, and I trust in that process totally. And I already know and understand that from that project, a lot of other doors will open or things will develop.
Yeah, so it's like a kind of really a personal development, and so you evolve also spiritually, I will say. Could you tell us what it is, this, I will say, this circle that you meet and met, maybe to see the link in between, and what, in your personal development, what you are looking for about what you lived before in the past, and now that you feel more yourself connected with what you want, but what it is, because I don't know what it is, this circle that you mentioned, and maybe this new project. So just I want to understand what you are developing or transforming, or
Mm.
uplifting about for yourself.
Yeah, I think it's important to share. My nature is that I'm like I said, very intuitive, but I'm a coordinator. For some reason, I'm always looking for connections, but also where are the gaps in the bigger picture. So this is how I did my work. It went quite well for me because I always was one step ahead. I think that's the right saying. So I sort of solved problems before they occurred.
No.
You see? Because I thought it was always silly to wait for the problem to escalate and then you have to do a lot of repairing. So I always was looking one step up front, like, hey, where are we going to expect the problems? And so I worked my way towards it so they didn't occur. And that's what a coordinator does. He prevents problems of happening. And fixing those problems cost a lot of money. That's why a lot of companies were happy to get me in, because either their project was screwed up already, so somebody had to clean up the mess, or they wanted, it was such of importance to the company, they wanted to have a good team on it, so it couldn't fail. So I felt very good in that environment, but I did it for 25 years as a freelancer because, like I said, it's technical installations. I was coordinating utility. I haven't shared it yet. So, and that is very dry stuff. So it was not really where my passion is. I did it. It was a good job, nice salary, and so on. But it wasn't where my passion is. What I'm doing now is totally my passion. So to connect it to your question, I think I came to realization. I never understood, and I still don't, why people think they are becoming 1,000 years old. It appears to me that people think they're living their lives like they are immortal. And if you look at a human's life cycle, getting born from a baby through childhood, college years, work, then you become a senior, then you grow old, and you're 60, 70, 80 years old, and you die. But I sense a lot of people, they are ignoring that fact either, or they just don't want to deal with it. They just don't seem to grasp that there will be an end to their life cycle here. And I was always pretty aware of it, which is a driver for me. Like, okay, make the best of this life and live it to the full. Just go for it. And I think that's something that's always there. So I'm not sure how deep it goes. I don't think I'm afraid of death. I think it's a natural concept. But I'm still questioning why a lot of people live their lives like they're in a loop. And every week they go through the same loop. And it's like that movie, with Groundhog Day or something. And yeah, and that's fascinating to me. And I really love and feel motivated to create tools so people can have better understanding that there is more than these loops. And I think that's what I really truly love to be. That's my connection to. I want to make these processes visible. So either you make a video, or you do a podcast, or you make a nice graphic or a presentation. I want to make it visible what is happening so people can have better understanding. And then they can decide for themselves if they want to accept a thought, an idea, a concept, or change their lives in a way.
What do you mean by create tools to show what is happening?
Well, you can create lots of tools. You can create a sharing app. If you're talking about sustainable life, you can create a tool for it, a platform, an app, so people can see what it means that sharing is good, is okay, and that it's a healthy way of living. So it has to do with technological platforms. I work with a lot of programmers and coders also. It's also very dry stuff. I'm not a coder myself, but these people, they are specialized in it, and these guys, it's their passion. So for whatever reason, and I think that's great. And I think that technology is just one of the, I always keep referring to the 12 sectors of society. It's one of them that is important, but so are the other sectors. So basically, that's yeah. I'm still amazed why, like I said, why people live their lives so apparently subconsciously like they are immortal. I'm wondering about, and also I I feel that it's healthy for me to support people if they can sort of, like within spiral dynamics, if they can see these other levels, if they can experience it in a way. That makes me happy.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, if I understand well, it's like you discover for yourself what it is to have an healthy life,
For me,
um,
yeah.
for
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
and that you want to share this to the people, to your surrounding. I have the feeling that this combination between connect the people in between them also, connect to the nature. I can imagine connect to everything in a healthy way. But it means that we know what it is healthy and not and unhealthy. So that may be another topic. I don't know, but
Could be. But of course, it's like what you say, what's healthy for me could be unhealthy for another person, right? So,
exactly. But if we stay, I will say, around the topic about create a dream life. So I have the feeling that really now, since the moment you decided to go to your own being, connected to your value, your desire, your passion, that from that moment you are really following your vibration and your transformation. So you are moving, you are from space to space because of that, because of your own transformation and vibration. So now it's more fluent, I will say, or obvious maybe in your way, because you make your best maybe in your daily life to stay connected to your own intuition, values and feelings.
Yeah.
to I can imagine that you decided to not stay in a place where it's not nourishing for you or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, that of course it happens that you get stuck somewhere, or you are in a place, and after a while you experience like this is probably not healthy for me. And that's also a great learning process, because then you have to make a decision. Okay, am I going to choose for my happiness on a relationship level? Like, do I want to be with the person that I'm with now and feel unhappy on all the other aspects that I want to do also? Then that's sometimes a struggle. And you notice, at some point you start to feel unhealthy, you start losing weight, you don't feel that well anymore. And yeah, then you really have to be true to yourself and honest. Okay, this is not good for me. And if it's not good for you, how can you be in service of others? Doesn't work. Sometimes it sounds a bit selfish, if it's a cliche, take care of yourself first, but it's true. You have to take care of yourself first. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just healthy.
Yeah, and it's also, yeah, because you take care of yourself, you can take care of the others also. If you don't take care of yourself, how you can give love to the others if you don't love yourself? If you don't give time to yourself, how you can give time to the others, etc. I think it's really, yeah, I follow you. Of course, first oneself. And but are you using to be connected to yourself and really to feel yourself, etc. I can imagine that you are close to your emotion, that you can express it, tell it, share it with your loved ones, really be honest. It means honest for me, it's also tell what's happened within, and so talk about emotion, express it. Are you using, I don't know, a kind of tool like meditation? How you connect with yourself? Do you have something like, I know there is a lot of tools and it's really relating to the person. Sometimes it can be, oh, when I feel in my belly this, I know that it's my intuition, or when I feel this in my body, or etc. So if you can share how you connect to your intuition and your feelings.
So I never felt like going sitting somewhere in a place and meditate. I never felt a strong urge for that. It sort of happens to me. I can sit in the garden and just stare at the ground for maybe 10 minutes. Or I can sit on the beach, stare at the skies, or just get lost looking at a tree, with the branches waving in the wind. So that sort of are my meditative moments that I feel like, okay, I really can wander off and just, yeah, go to this place, like take a distance from everything and just feel in the now, be there, clear my mind. That's one aspect of it. That's when I sort of find the real connection with myself. But it can also be while you're walking the dogs. I sometimes, it's funny because there were days that I was talking to myself, literally, right? You're having a conversation with yourself. And like 25 years ago, people were thinking you were crazy. Now they think you have headphones and you are on the phone with someone. I did it at times just to have a conversation with myself. I think that's healthy too, probably. Just to check in with yourself. And the challenging thing for me was because I am so intuitive from origin, that it was very hard for me to process it and explain it in words at the same time. I mean, I really had to go through a whole process of communication skills, learning, growing on that part. Like 5 years ago, we could not have possibly have this conversation now. We would be stuck because I could say, okay, I understand what you're saying, Letitia. My intuition tells me you're right, but I wasn't able to process and to give feedback on it or review or reflect on it. I think I'm doing a lot better now, but I'm not there yet. I like to grow on that part much more.
You mean with the sense, the symbolism, the analysis, the
Yeah, yeah,
connect with the brain? I will say
yeah.
your feelings with your body, and with the brain we can explain how.
Yeah, it sometimes takes a few hours or days. I take the information in, and then I'm processing, right? Process. And then suddenly it becomes clear.
Okay, so if I understand, you are really connected to your body, because for me, the intuition coming from the body, or it can come from also the mind, some words, some tellings who comes and say something, and that you feel something in your body, and so you take time with yourself to feel, okay, what's happened here, and how I can understand here with my head what's happened within me, and from that maybe I can imagine that you take action to change this position or situation.
I run twice a week, and after half an hour, you get tired, right? Your body gets tired. And I really try to feel into it. Firstly, that I'm so appreciative that it still works. My body still works. I can still run. I'm very happy with it. But that something is happening, something disappears, and then all kinds of clear thoughts come into my mind. It's a very peculiar process, but I do enjoy it. Yeah, I'm not sure how it works for me, but that's a meditative moment also.
I am wondering, in this connection that you have, because I have the feeling that you are really connected to your being. Maybe I'm wrong, but I have this feeling. And that you do action to give you the best, to give you really the best, and to be happy, and to really protect, I will say, your being as a treasure. It happens for you to have some days or some moments where you feel that you don't love yourself, or when you feel that you don't love the outside, where you don't respect yourself or don't respect the surrounding. And if it's the case, are you practicing some stuff, to nourish this love or not?
Yeah, I can give you an example. And before I do that, the last thing about meditation, sorry to come back to it, that's under the shower in the morning. I love the water and feel it, splashing on your body. And then there are some moments of clarity also. I don't know why, but that's nice. So yes, so I think as a person, I'm relatively patient. When I'm working with someone and you start to recognize patterns, specifically shadow work that people are not willing to go through, there are moments, because there are so many projects, so many people, different people working on them. They start with a lot of enthusiasm. A lot of people are busy, busy, busy. At the end, maybe two or three people really keep it going. And then the original people, they started to have sort of different visions, or their egos come in the way, or whatever. There's sort of a fallout. And I always try to work on that process within teams. Like, okay, how can we learn from each other so we can prevent this, or have better understanding on it? And it does happen to me still after working a year or two with someone, that I run out of patience, because I try to touch on these shadows and I try to make them visible, that it's healthy for everyone to work with them. And my shadows are also in there. But I sort of, when I come to this point that, okay, now I'm running out of patience, now it's not healthy for me anymore. I have to step out. I have to step back from this project. And that goes against my nature. Yeah, I don't know. I feel, well, everything can be, maybe if you push a little bit further, it can maybe, come to this next phase. But then when this moment comes, and then there are a couple of days that I'm really not happy with the situation. I really feel uncomfortable. I have to really rebalance, reiterate myself, and then it falls into place. Yes, this is the right decision. Just step back from this project so you can be more in service of the other projects. Feed them more positive energy. So once I feel the energy drain is happening, after a while, I take the time and say, no, this is not healthy. I will step back. And I feel sorry about it. But at the end, I'm happy I did it. So yeah, so I have a discussion of a couple of days a week about, is it fair for me to step back? Will I disappoint the other person, the team members? Of course. But I also see that before you reach that point, you give a lot. You give a lot of energy and time, which is also, can be appreciated. So instead of looking at, okay, you're stepping back now, so the team will be perhaps influenced in a negative way, I sort of fade that. So I can see, no, it's okay. They will find another team member or energy to continue with. So I'm learning on that process. Sometimes I stay too long on a project or too short. That happens too.
Yeah, it's great because what I feel it's that you keep your own power, I will say, and you let also the power of the others, to fix what they need to fix, or maybe to not fix, maybe to never fix, whether to never re- um, uh, resolve the situation or something like that. Maybe it's the way that they have to experience also.
Yeah.
And what I can see in this love for yourself, it's that you respect your own power, and also to accept that the people around you will find their own way. They don't need you like if you disappear, they are lost like I don't know, like a little baby.
Yeah.
So to let to the others their own power. So I can see really that the love for yourself is really present, and it comes from really, like you said, your childhood, and you received so much, in your life and all around you, that you didn't have to transform a lot within you. It's the feeling that I have, that you didn't have to, yeah, to struggle with yourself, to struggle with trauma, to recover from trauma, to find your own way, and etc. So maybe yes, because you told that it lasts until you're 50 to go to your own way. So I can imagine that it wasn't so comfortable to live this during all these years.
My feeling is I was just damn lucky. I think I understand this, and I think that people who have to dealt with challenges in their childhood and in their lives, that I really have much appreciation for people who have to sort of go through these processes and to become a more complete person and really invest in themselves. I really admire that. So I think that's really a great achievement if you can do this, if you're willing to do this for yourself and directly for the people in your surroundings. I just wanted to share that feeling of appreciation for people that are able to go through the shadows and they're willing to take on the beast and wrestle with it, because I do understand that that is a very profound and big thing to go through. And again, yeah, I'm not finding the right word, I think, but I really feel lots of appreciation for that, and also compassion. But like I said, I think people who go through these processes, they probably have developed themselves in such a way that their achievement is so much greater. That path they took is so much bigger. I hope that that the person that has gone through this whole process at the end is able to really say, well done, you deserve it. I did it. I love myself, and great job. I think that's really inspiring.
I wanted just to add something. It's, yeah, what I can see, what it can helps me. You have so much positive thoughts about yourself and positive beliefs and positive behavior. Like you said, I am lucky. It's a belief. I am lucky. And you feel it like it's real. So for you, it's real. So you are lucky, so you attract a lot of wonderful situation. And for me, it shows a way to recreate, to transform, or yeah, to build this new belief if I don't have it, to tell to my child within that she's lucky, I am lucky, I am lucky, and to start to really feel it. Because if I believe in it, I will be attracted with the situation who are connected to my value and my desires, I think. But it's not only to be lucky, it's like a lot of things. I love myself. I was loved. All this belief that you have, like I was supported. I am supported. So you carry this within you. So of course you attract this around you, or you will be attracted by, because it's connected to your vibration. And my belief creates my vibration. When I can see some people like you has these positive beliefs, I can really see, I see how it works. It's not in my mind, or it becomes more real. I can see it, I can touch it, I can feel it. It shows me the way. Oh yes, so if I behave like him, like, yeah, I am lucky, I am supported, I was loved, I had big support. If I behave like you, I will have this the same self-love, self-support, self. It can be the tool, one of the tools to use to
Yeah.
embody this belief, these beliefs. Yeah, I think.
I think you're a great listener, but you analyze it, so that's really amazing how you are able to put that all in perspective and continue on it. So thanks for that.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, that's really a gift.
Yeah, I didn't see like this, but yeah, maybe.
But I really enjoyed it, so it was great.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to share where the people can reach you, and follow you.
So I'm active in a number of projects, but the most simple thing is to take a glimpse at my LinkedIn profile. If you are on LinkedIn, there you have an easy overview of my activities. So basically, it's in the field of transitioning, working as a coordinator or transition engineer, make these processes visible.
Thank you very much, Robert. I'm really touched and deeply touched, and I can feel really the love and the self-love, and it's the way for me, really, to build a dream life, and my dream life. So thank you for that, for who you are. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, thank you, and appreciate being here and your project. And I hope that a lot of great conversations will follow. But I really enjoyed it very much. So thank you, Letitia, and also for being who you are as a beautiful person and energy.
Thank you, Robert.
Yeah.
So see you, everybody, and see you the next time. And bye bye. Have a great day. Full of sun and
Bye bye.
love. Thank you for your time, your presence, and your deep attention. Thanks to follow this channel and for your support. See you soon to a next episode of A Tailor-made Life.